Like, I'm like, yo, this is the guy next door. This is the guy that he'll pull your trash and you're not dead. You know what I'm saying? So it helps me to know why I support this man because of what he does.
Dwayne Warren, Leonard Ellis,
Reese Shoemate,
Joy Black, Derek Floyd.
Ashley Graves, professionally. I would like to edify and show, that the subject here was, to bring forth the vision and the mission of I Sort Up and Hope. The upper specifications, the lower specifications of what I even heard you talking about for your community is right in line with the vision and the mission of I Sort Up and Hope and the mentorship program. Just doing the calculations of the specifications that you were speaking of, I Sort Up and Hope can bring a 42% analytical increase among their youth. Just by the programs, the activities, and the progressive thinking that each one of the minutes brings. And that's from work experience, literacy, and financial experience.
So why don't we weave all of that into our discussion? Is there a problem with that?
No, that's not a problem.
I think it should be part of an ongoing discussion because what I'd focus on is that for any municipality, this brings a different dimension that they don't have, they probably can't afford and can't do well anyway. And so some of the things that we need are already here. Okay. It really ball bounces back to you guys to say, hey, our back is broken. You have so many needs and that we're part of it. But you seem to be laser focused on the stuff that you do well.
Oh, wow.
And that's beneficial to municipality. So I think we should weave it in.
One of the focuses that I'm definitely focusing on with Leonard is reentry. So when you were speaking, you were just speaking about those people coming home. You're working with parole, you're working with the federal, you're working with state. That's kind of the things that we want to be able to tackle when they get there. So you'll still be decreasing your crime.
Exactly.
You'll still be keeping your neighborhood safe. Obviously, keeping your constituents safe. That's a big part of what we want to do. We know that a lot of times when people are reintegrating back in the community, the resources are not right there for them, right? So we don't want to even give them time to think about
or to go research. We get it right here.
Right.
Focus your energy.
Be right there. So that's one part of what Eyes Wide Open Hope is going to do. We have many different aspects: job training, different literacy programs, and everybody brings to the table their own specialties according to what they know and what they focus on.
I like it.
And that is definitely be beneficial to your constituents.
To us, yeah, absolutely.
Along with all the things that you're already doing, so we'll be able to partner with people like Stacy. We'll be able to partner with a lot of your people who are doing the book bag drives, who are doing the turkey drives. We'll be a partner to you as well as a help to the community as well, because we'll be able to bring our resources as well as what you're already doing.
And
perfect.
So with the mentorship program, actually we have a lot of mentors that deals with the youth all the time. And the redirection, we opened up the center and said we have the dance shows, the poetry and the rap contests, the movie nights, the family nights, the different things that bring community together. So all these things will be done in the city of Orange. It's a resource center for Essex County. So all the people will be coming from these different counties to Orange to get these resources. And like we all network with different organizations, and we can talk to the different mayors and let them know that Orange has these resources. And it would be good for them to partner up with Orange to expedite all of these resources. So these are the things that we bring to our mayor, since I'm a resident of Orange now, my mayor. And I believe the way Orange is growing, under your leadership, Orange is going in the right direction. And then this is why, outside, because we can't endorse you as a nonprofit, but individually we can endorse you and say you have our endorsement because we believe in the direction that you're taking Orange and the residents. Unlike when we was talking about you being a gardener, and you garden not just the buildings and things like that, but you're gardening the people. You're growing the people, and that's what I actually said. You are hands-on with the people. So we want to know about we see now we got to know the mayor and the man. We want the people to know the mayor and the man that don't know.
Important.
And I also, on a serious note, the environmental justice side. I wear many hats too, so I'm an environmentalist, like for real, like with air monitoring, the trucks that's coming into our local roads, things like that, community gardens, landscaping, trash removal, things like that. So
that brings a whole different crowd of people too, because there's a lot of people that's into environmental things, like who want solar panels or rain barrels or compost machines and stuff like that. So, just let it, things like that. So no wrong with what else. So
One of the things we're doing, especially with open spaces, as we look at Military Park, which is downtown on Main Street, at the end of Main Street as you go into East Orange, we're looking just to take up the entire park and make it usable, make it more community friendly, amphitheater type of effect as well, because we're growing people and they're all coming in, and we have to really fight to preserve open spaces and make sure they're livable. Certainly we have some, but to the extent that we can start to improve them and make them more inviting and bring people in, that has to be our focus. One of the things that we do at Military Park is to have the green days where we bring in the vegetable truck and the jazz band, and then we try to get seniors to come in so they can have healthy choices in terms of eating. And we found that to be a spectacular, not just because we give out the food there, but because the park is a central place that should be beautified so they can come in more and more. And then there are a couple of the units that we're building are going to do green space. We have a designated park in one area, and we're in a real tough battle with some of the property owners in the adjacent places, where the businesses will be moved, but that property will be cleaned and made an open space.
and that creates green jobs.
Absolutely, absolutely. When we built the Harvard Press, Harvard Press 1 is in Orange, and then next door is West Orange, Harvard Press 2, but there is a gully that goes through there that eventually goes into the Rahway River. That cleaning project and being able to walk that river, that is our goal, so that we can just have that kind of outdoor space on a regular basis. And then with this hospital site, as I was saying before, the first order of business is to make sure it's clean environmentally. And we know some areas have been capped, and they're starting to look at whether or not it's construction friendly in that regard. So we're looking at that as well. And then since I've been in office, I've built a whole new park over on Alden Street, which is striped for soccer and lacrosse and softball, for girls softball. And it's been a park that's attracted neighbors across the city, and it's a great place to go. And then we refurbished Central Park, which is right on Central Avenue, right across from the middle school. And that has been a beacon for our children as well and for our activities. In fact, the school uses it on a regular basis because it's just there and available, even though it's a city's park. It's important that the school get use of, because it's supposed to be for children to generate ideas, to generate energy. So those kind of things are good for our environment, and we're working fastidiously now to try to get the funds and the direction to rebuild our school football stadium. And those things have been there for years and years and decades, and it's falling. It was refurbished maybe 30 years ago, and man, it had to turn down to start to get refurbished, so we start to look at that as well. All these recreation spaces are important for us because it's tough to have, and COVID, I guess, was the best teacher. We have to get out, that we have to commune, that we have for fellowship.
I can definitely let you know that it is once again in line with I thought of the notes mission vision of creating a lower specification and letting them understand just because they hear the word lower specification, it doesn't take away, because in that term, we would teach them at the center what it means to create memories.
Right.
We would show them the understanding through activity, through the specific workshops, as well as through common goal building on those strategies. At the center, we will be able to educate them that the lower specification of what your mayor is doing right now is creating memories so that they can eliminate recall.
Right.
And I think the most important part of eliminating recall is going to allow them to be more creative. It's going to bring about their more attentive manner into school. And it's going to bring about their more educated actors when they want to contribute and with even more creation, like the artistic and things of that nature.
That is critical. Eyes Wide Open Hope in their work in terms of getting into the community and not leaving out the children and not leaving out the bond between parent and child and things that happen at home. I'm just encouraged about how when we teach, you're not teaching or at the center, just to stay at the center. What you're teaching is portable. You ask them to bring it home. You ask them to come back with homework. It's that kind of duplicate effort that's going to reverberate throughout the community. I think that's important.
I think that's one of the things that Eyes Wide Open that Hope definitely understands. We understand that it's not just a child, right? Sometimes we go to school and we might say, oh, a child is acting up. But you also have to know as a social worker,
right.
You also have to know that just to know what's going on. Why is that child acting up with what's going on in the home, right? So we want to be able to provide all those things, right? If it's a single father and raising a child, we don't talk very much about single fathers. Raising children, we always talk about single mothers. But there are a lot of single fathers out there as well. So, a father and a son program, whether it's a mommy and me program, whether it's a wraparound program, whether it's reentry program, whether it's life skills program, maybe mom just needs help with food today.
That's right.
We want to be able to meet every specific need that they had, because the more that we meet those needs, statistics have shown when you're able to meet these needs, crime goes down.
That's right.
People are more neighborly. People are more welcoming. People are more, their attitudes change.
That's better on us. I was talking to Leonard earlier about Eyes Wide Open Hope being a resource, your resources for those families, and they get real stuff from it. But when you start to calculate the benefit that goes to those families and the relief that the system gets, and they will pour resources in other places, it's definitely from a municipal effort. It helps a whole lot. And he's been out to our celebrations in the parks where we bring the families out, because they're able to see how parents are relating, how the kids are relating. But the key thing for our Department of Community Affairs was that this organization was there providing things that we didn't necessarily have, that we couldn't necessarily afford, that could be out of our jurisdiction because of our profit, and we bring that in and we get the benefit from it. I didn't see any children asking, well, I think he gave some balloons or some kind of favor. They didn't ask, is that a municipal balloon? Or is that Eyes Wide Open? But he knew the effect that it would have on that child.
That child at the last.
Yeah.
And once again, it falls again into the alignment of Eyes Wide Open Hope's mentorship program, which once again is going to create a continuous experience coming out of that event. Saying they were going into the mentorship program at the center, they're going to be able to speak about the topics, the views, the common physical perspective. Physical perspective being they were among their family, their friends, they were among their peers, and they'll be able to take that as an upper specification level, which once again will add to that increase of the output.
The one thing I don't want us to forget our seniors. Our seniors are very important when it comes to Eyes Wide Open Hope. Building the bridge between the chief and the elder. We have to get them to understand that you're new from that, but you will become an elder. God willing, He allow him to live that on. So we want to make sure that we don't forget. Here it is now. I'm 53. When I was younger, I was like, I ain't going to the store for it. Now you got to understand why you should have went to the store because Brenda was away to go to school.
Right.
It's the store.
So we had to get them to understand that we much respect your elders.
Right, and
That's man on the elders. And make sure we bring those elders up. The elders are not bring those on, because they're always, you're not dead yet. So they're not just sitting around living out. So let's just give them activities as well. We kick them out to do some different things. And the mayor has a lot of ideas that realities from, this agenda and implemented because there are some Bibles ideas that he has, and we want to make sure that we utilize those ideas when it comes to, and I want to thank him personally because I would have thought of all of them, but he put the mayor made it clear that we have to implement the elder in these programs So they just go sit around at home at different
And they have so much to contribute to youth, and I was open, give me presentation, and thank you that I do to our elderly is thank you for being here, thank you for participating, and thank you for hugging me, but also thank you for chastising me. Most of the genius that I've had, that my mother thinks I have, it didn't really come from me. It came from that kind of interaction, whether it be some of our programmatic events, whether it be going door to door, certainly COVID, where we did tremendous outreach. I got the chance to touch people's lives and talk to their family members on the phone to find out what they need. It was just a blessing to be a blessing to them. But the wisdom that I pick up, I mean, you can't categorize it, and you can't count it. Because it's so important, and they're still alive, they're still well, and I'm a political science major. So their analysis about what is happening today and how the book says nothing new under the sun, they are real examples of that. They teach it, they've seen it, and they try to bring it out. It means a lot of things that we go through that I'm able to avoid politically because they're like, it happened in the 1960s, so it happened in the 1950s. Here's how it was avoided. Now you have technology, you can take this route. So a lot of their ideas are good.
So that's what cycles that brings your attention. Like I brought up a notes torch program at the Mentor at the center. Of course, that'll be our elderly group, and they will be the ones to come in and show us their contribution to the youth, as well as participate in programs and workshops. So would that be something that you would want us to?
It would be, because, and I'm glad you aptly named it the torch, because they have the power, they have the light, and it's up to them to tap into children to go forward. So yeah, that'd be something that we'd like to do. And seniors like to do it. They're not in these senior homes or in their own homes, just there to die. Yes, they need help, they need assistance if they're going to get food and help with the maintenance of their homes. But it's the soul and the enriching of their mind that they're really looking for. And so
how would you see
like
that?
And be clear. I want to touch on two things. The scenes. I'm certified DSP with the state. So I help kids with autism, seniors, support professionals. So a lot of seniors, they need that. So they need that companionship. You can start a companionship program with, we go to a senior house, they need something, ride to the store, companionship. And also, what else to the seniors? I got a presentation coming. So, they might want to do trips, like, maybe family reunions, or just go for a nice ride to New York and back. Get yourself scheduled, to do certain things. See if you want to participate, to account, resident knock, wherever. And also with the autism kids. All right, that's what I did. I drove kids with autism. You gotta have a certain level of patience to give, because they move at a certain vibration. So I watched a lot of people get frustrated with them, but that's not culture one. Relax. You have to, you can't get mad at them. So yeah, we need to do something for the kids with autism, because a lot of these people that got kids with autism, it's programs that's in West Long Range, all of these other places they might can't get to it, but they might can't afford it. So, we come up with something like that from kids with autism, that'll bring out a whole nother crowd of people. That's one. Healthcare, make sure people get healthcare. If they got a CNA or home health day, make sure they situated up, they sign up to get one. Some people, they need help. A lot of older people, they don't like nothing new. Like, everything's on the phone now. They stuck in their old ways. They still got beepers, still got, other ways of communicating. So, yeah.
The one thing that I got emotional with you. One day when I saw you out there with the bike, and I see you at different events, and it's like, this is a mayor that I want to be my mayor. It's not somebody that like I just didn't care, or I seen he didn't care. Like we said, he was there when no cameras were there. He was just, it wasn't no photo ops. It wasn't none of that. And this is what residents like myself or other people would want to be their mayor. Like, I'm like, yo, this is the guy next door. This is the guy that he'll pull your trash and you're not there. You know what I'm saying? So it helps me
to know why I support this nigga, because of what he does, as not as just as a mayor, but as a person. You know, so when I ask our team to get behind me, and this is the reason why I invite y'all here to meet the mayor, but not just the mayor, but the man, because the man will tell you what the mayor gonna do,
Yeah.
right? So this is why
The
I
mayor's
support
just only one aspect of who he is. But
exactly.
Right.
he is directly who he is
It
because
is-
of the
it's-
things that he loves to do.
It is it's a servant's job. You have to have a servant's personality, a servant's mentality. And at the center of it, I mean, I'm just my parents' son, and they've always treated me like that. You know, I grew up in the era in America where black skin wasn't popular, where the black skin guy or girl was the ugly guy. And I just remember my parents always putting into me that you're smart, you have to read, be proud of yourself, reflect what you want to be out in the community. And that reflection part was really something that grabbed me, because I want to see that. I was able to, my parents put me in touch, I was able to touch a lawyer, I was able to touch professionals, I was able to touch people that I thought that I wanted to be. And that was important. And my parents, you know, they raised you to a point where if you ever are in a position to be what someone else wants to be, get out there and be touchable, let them speak to you, be approachable. So that's all I've ever known. But then when you get into a community and you see how necessary it is and how much of a difference it makes, it's just, it's tremendous. I mean, I take for granted I had both parents. My dad came home every day. He made sure we had a good education. We had good food on the table. But that is not reality. That's not real everywhere all the time. And to just go into somebody's presence, to go into their classroom, to go into their home, to sit with them, to compliment them, to hug them, it makes a valuable difference in the lives of families. And we just have to be about that. I'm a politician. I'm a shrewd politician. I've been in this game since I was 8 years old. My uncle went to the state legislature, had me. I saw him put his hand up and take office. And I saw the power of the legislature, the power of state government, and I was smitten immediately. And so I understand politics and know how to work politics. But once you get elected into office, you have to govern, and you see what the circumstances are. You're not just a politician anymore. I mean, you got to be something different. You got to be on a servant level.
You did.
And that's really how I approach it.
So,
Now-
and I'm glad that I'm just after one point, I'm glad that you said that, because one of the things that he probably didn't tell you, he's very big on the fact that the doesn't want Oswald was the hope that he's just another service provider of
Right.
a person. Everyone who he brings on board, their passion is whatever they're going to be the director of them, or whatever they're focused on, that is their passion. So, you know, even on our Zoom calls, he says it all the time. I want to make sure that when people come in, they're not being misspoken to. They're not
Right.
being degraded. They're
That's
not
right.
being treated unfairly. Because we understand that sometimes when you go to different places, we won't name them, but when you go to different
Absolutely.
places, you're
Absolutely.
treated as if you don't
Right.
want it, as if
You're
you
just a
need to be
number,
there.
you're perfunctory, and that's it.
So
Absolutely.
that's what Oswald hope is going to bring. We're hoping that it's going to not only bring it in Orange, but you know,
Throughout
Newark
the
is going to
county,
want
yeah.
to send their people there. Montclair is
Yep.
going to want to
And
send
so,
their
like I
people
said,
there.
it's going to increase the whole continuous experience for Orange at least an analytical percentage of 42%. There is just no way that you can build credit without actually giving credit to what is already there.
That's right.
And that's the municipality, that's the council, and those are those that agree and understand that these exempt organizations are trying to get behind.
Well, that's what's, and I think our council would be happy to hear it. There are a lot of soldier workers on the council who do this groundwork
Yeah.
and need the push. But the reason I like this organization is the professionalism that comes with it. I know a number of nonprofits who go out and just help people. It's not real systematic. It's effective because people are getting help, but to professionalize it and make sure that this is something that's going to be ongoing, I think that's what's important for us, especially looking at a county agency that's here in Orange. I'm used to being a small fish, having to navigate in a big pond without eating up, and then getting resources and bringing them back. So you have to be nimble and smart, and I think that's what this organization brings, and I think that's why the partnership
How
is
would
going to
you
be good.
feel if other townships started pulling on you there?
Yeah, wow. I think we have.
That's reality.
I think we have the talent, and because we produce a good product, I think talent would be attracted to us, and we'd be able to handle the demand that comes in.
But not only do you have the talent, you have the heart. And
That's
I
key.
think that's always
That's key.
important.
That's key.
Because we can all have talent.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
without the passion,
If we don't have the heart to give it,
passion,
That's right.
it doesn't
That's
make
right.
a difference,
Yeah.
right? And that's one thing that I've always, I spend a lot of time in Orange, and I don't live in Orange. And I
We have a place for you.
thank you. I spend a lot of time in Orange just because I see that the people who work from you, even down to the sanitation people, their hearts are in it. When you have, like I can remember the back of the school drive, and you had the fire department was out there, the police department was out there, the sanitation, the city, this one, that one, and everyone was just. It didn't matter what their title was. You didn't know who was the director of this or who was this councilwoman of that.
It's the pitch in.
Everyone just put their
To your point, I
gloves
mean,
on
these
and-
people have their own passion on how they want their city to work and how they want to be involved. And I couldn't have said it better that when you bring people into a position, okay, you have the skill to do it, you have the credentials to do it, you have the passion to do it. Because the passion is what carries them further.
Absolutely.
I don't pay any of those people a lot of money. Our budget just can't afford to do it. So what they do is beyond their paycheck, it's beyond their position or their status, it's their pride and their passion. And I'm really a beneficiary of that, yeah.
Yeah, orange pride.
Yeah. I'm a huge beneficiary of that.
Orange pride.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
She beat orange.
That's it. That's right.
It makes
That's
a world
right.
of difference. It truly does. We're approaching 6:30. I know that the mayor is had a
Oh, it's
very long
6:30
day.
already? Wow.
And I want to
Wow.
make sure that we have all gotten our questions and concerns out and about, especially with our founder and CEO. Everybody's showing good about that.
It's getting late. I want to thank Mayor Warren. I want to thank my team, which does wear many hats, way back. Three student one sister at Graves, Derek and Saudi. I want to thank you all for coming out, taking y'all time out to meet the mayor, not just the mayor, but the man. And I'll be looking forward for all of us working together on his campaign in 2024, because we don't think it's time for us, but we know it's not time for the change of the guards, not in this stick anyway, not this township. We will love to have another term with this mayor.
Thank you.
Because he is not growing the city, he's growing the people. And we want to get that message out to every single voter and know that didn't vote. We did this session so people can understand why they should come out and vote. You're a registered voter, come out and vote for this man, Dwayne Warren.
That's important. Thank you, brother.
One more thing.
Thank you to our fearless leader. This man, visionary strength. Thank you, brother.